At first glance, all Formula student cars look similar. They all have 4 wheels, a lightweight frame, safety hoops, and an aerodynamic package. But when you take a closer look, the differences start to appear, and they are much bigger than they seem at first sight. In the rear of the car, you might see a large combustion engine, a gearbox, and an exhaust system. Or you might not see an engine at all, because the entire electric powertrain can be hidden directly inside the wheels. This is where the real engineering decisions begin. Combustion engine, electric motors, wheel-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, each powertrain follows a different philosophy. Each one has its own strengths, its own limits and challenges. Some concepts focus on simplicity and low weight, others rely on software, control algorithms and maximum traction. So which powertrains dominate Formula Student today, and what makes one solution faster than the other? Welcome back! My name is Sebastian, we are Urban Racing, and this is... Let's start with the classic solution. For many years, the combustion engine was the only option in Formula Student. Even though today there are more possibilities, combustion cars still play an important role in competition. Due to intake restrictions, success is not about peak power, it is about efficiency, throttle response and reliability. Traditionally, teams follow 2 main approaches when designing their powertrain. Some choose small, lightweight engines that push performance to the limit but require careful maintenance. Others prefer larger, more robust engines that are heavier but known for durability and reliability. Most combustion vehicles use wheel-wheel drive. This layout is lightweight, mechanically straightforward and gives the driver very clear and direct feedback. Of course, there are exceptions. Some teams experiment with unusual concepts such as single-cylinder turbocharged engines, while for some teams 2-wheel drive is simply not enough. But more about that later. However, when compared to modern electric cars, combustion engines vehicles are now clearly limited, especially in acceleration and overall energy efficiency. The introduction of electric category completely changed the game. As we mentioned in the previous episode, electric cars first appeared in Formula Student competitions in 2010. As a go-to choice, teams use synchronous electric motors with permanent magnets. Depending mostly on the control systems, the motor can deliver desired torque in a matter of milliseconds, and its ability to deliver maximum torque right from standstill up to the point of several thousand RPM, roughly 11,000 RPM in our case, it makes a perfect choice for powertrain systems. But an electric Formula car is far more than a motor and a battery. It is a software-driven systems where power control, safety functions, energy management and the love for the game decide performance. This leads to fundamental design questions: motors for rear or double it? The most meta solution today is all-wheel drive. 4 motors, 1 for each wheel. This enables the teams to utilize algorithms such as torque vectoring on a higher level, and it's also allowing the teams for regeneration with front wheels when braking. The rules of competition state that the car can use 80 kilowatts of power at the outlet of the battery, but there is no ceiling for regenerative braking, so some teams may regenerate up to 150 kilowatts of peak power. It's the things like these that allow the concept to dominate the competition. The results are extreme traction, higher cornering speeds, and most importantly, if designed correctly, you can always keep pushing while still being efficient. But there is a downside, or even dark side, may I say. It is increased mass, higher complexity, and enormous development effort, especially in software and electronics. Furthermore, since lithium polymer pouch cells offer relatively good power density, they are utilized by many teams. However, you cannot breathe too loud around these batteries. You cannot even look at it badly, because pouch cells are sensitive to mechanical deformation, and so the teams take increased risk while using them. That goes not only for lithium polymer batteries, but for other technologies as well. But this is for another video, and I'm just teasing you guys. But let's move on from electric vehicles. Some concepts are more futuristic, like hydrogen combustion vehicles. The engine remains combustion, but instead of gasoline, it burns, well, hydrogen. That means no CO2 emissions, fast combustions, and very lean mixtures. But not only in our competition, this concept faces serious challenges. Since hydrogen molecules are the smallest molecules of all, they are quite difficult to keep locked in storage. They are like a jail inmate that can squeeze through the bars. Not only that, but the hydrogen can weaken materials over time, which is called hydrogen embrittlement, which can lead to cracking and further leakage. To make it even more interesting and more of a challenge, the hydrogen makes explosive mixtures with the air. And since it is the lightest gas, it has extremely low volumetric energy density, So you have to either pressurize it or put it in the chemical bound to store at the reasonable amount of energy. And these mixtures, like ammonia or methanol, are very toxic. However, the world has found a way to tackle these problems, and while hydrogen combustion vehicles still impose a challenge, some universities are working towards a better solutions. Over the years, teams have explored many unconventional ideas. From our own past concept, a single-cylinder engine with turbo. The single-cylinder engine with turbocharger came from a 500cc motocross bike paired with a custom 3-speed gearbox. The motor was really hard to tune because of the turbocharger, but it has several other issues as well. One of the issues of the motor is that it had a natural tendency to resonate with the rest of the car. Compared to engines with higher cylinder count, the mechanical impulses are displaced further from each other. That means that the motor resonates in the lower frequencies than the compared engines would, and it was a problem because then it matched the natural resonance frequencies of, for example, our rear wing and stuff. In an effort to push the engine knock limit, E85 blend was used instead of gasoline. But despite all of that, the motor had amazing power-to-weight ratio, which made it an interesting choice for us. To ambitious all-wheel drive CV systems developed by teams like Sapienza Corse from Rome. And even cars like Fast-Tube, which use electric motors driving the rear axle through chains.
In the 23 season, we came up with a concept we called long chains. It features two motors right behind the driver's seat, near to the center of gravity. Each motor is connected to the chain drive transmission to the rear axle. Sandwiched in between is the accumulator container, which you can easily access from the back of the car. The result is a very slim packaging to maximize the aerodynamic performance.
These concepts often remain experimental or research-driven, but some of them are winning machines. They push boundaries and inspire innovation. It is clear now that the trend is evolving. Vehicle concepts in Formula Student are diversifying, with both combustion and electric powertrains continuing to push performance boundaries. All-wheel drive has further expanded what is physically achievable on the track. And yet, raw power alone is no longer a defining factor. For many teams, mechanical performance is approaching a mature level. In many cases, it is not a single parameter such as mass or downforce that decides the outcome, but the quality of the coordination between hardware design and control strategies. And so, Formula Student is not about one perfect solution. It is about engineering decisions, compromises, and execution. Every team goes through ups and downs, every season brings good ideas and sometimes bad ideas and wrong ones, but it is part of the process. Formula Student is constant evolution. Each car builds on the lessons of the previous one, and that is exactly what makes it one of the most demanding and most rewarding student engineering competitions in the world. As a wise man, Mr. Claude Royal once said, the fact that you won that race that day does not mean that you have the best car. It means you had the best combination of the driver, the car, and the conditions. As always, thanks to our sponsors, and special thanks goes to the teams participating in this video, and see you on the track.